Hi people, it's Archivist here, coming at you with a review for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. To be completely honest, I went into this game with low expectations. Ghost felt like a total misstep for the series, and it certainly shook my confidence. Therefore, I was pleasantly surprised to discover that not only is Advanced Warfare better than Ghost, but it's actually one of the best Call of Duty games to date. The story in Advanced Warfare centres around your character Jack Mitchell, who joins up with a private military company known as Atlas, run by CEO Jonathan Irons. Both of these characters are well defined, with exceptional voiceover work by Troy Baker and Kevin Spacey. Of the two, Spacey made more of an impact, mainly because his character Jonathan Irons simply had more interesting things to say. Before each mission, you are greeted by a cutscene which covers up most of the loading time before a level. The quality of these pre-rendered scenes is truly stunning, with detail and animation that is simply unprecedented. Rather than jumping between multiple characters, instead you stay firmly in the boots of Mitchell, which gives a focus that Call of Duty games tend to lack. It creates a much tighter bond between your character and those he interacts with. Speaking of your squad mates, they are also unusually memorable for a game such as this. The aforementioned facial animations and voiceover quality go a long way in making them believable, along with a mostly tight script. You shouldn't expect a story on par with the likes of The Last of Us or GTA, but for a Call of Duty game, the campaign is exceptional. Your motives are clear, the narrative is strong, and the characters are compelling. In terms of gameplay, things feel very familiar in Advanced Warfare, albeit with a few new additions to spice up the formula. Most notable among them is the exosuit, a metal frame that attaches to a soldier's body and grants them increased strength, among other things. The abilities of the suit vary between missions. Sometimes you can double jump, and others you can go invisible. There are also a few futuristic toys to go with this setting, such as flying attack drones, hoverbikes, and advanced fighter jets. While many of the weapons feel very familiar, there are some that operate in interesting ways. For example, some guns can shoot lasers instead of bullets. Also, certain tactical grenades can show all nearby enemies by highlighting them in red. The linear nature of the Call of Duty games has always been a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it makes for regular set-piece moments that are truly spectacular, but on the other, it doesn't offer a lot of variety between playthroughs. Then again, the lasting appeal does tend to come more from multiplayer modes anyway. Fundamentally, Advanced Warfare plays like a Call of Duty game, for better or for worse. The tight controls and high octane moments can be found here, as they have been in previous installments. Graphically, Advanced Warfare corrects most of the mistakes that Ghost made, while throwing in a few new tricks along the way. What's going to catch most people's attention are the in-game facial animations. On a more subtle note, motion blur is implemented at key moments during the story when focus shifts from gameplay to spectacle. Motion blur is a very cool effect, but I'm glad it's been used sparingly here, as it may have actually been distracting during big firefights. In a similar fashion, depth of field also activates during important moments, giving the game a very cinematic look when it wants to. Another interesting change is that now your heads-up display is located on your gun as a holographic projection. By freeing up the screen space, the experience becomes more immersive. Overall though, the game looks very good, but not exceptional. It never blew me away like Crysis 3 or Battlefield 4 did, but it is undeniably solid. I can't imagine that anyone will have any major issues with the way the game looks. Specifically speaking to PC users, I found that the game ran a lot smoother than Ghost, with far less stuttering and mostly consistent frame rates. Multiplayer is a massive part of any Call of Duty game, and therefore getting it right is of critical importance to the game's overall success. I'm happy to report that so far my experience has been issue-free, and I've had a lot of fun with it. The multiplayer feels very similar to Black Ops 2 thanks to the futuristic setting and highly customizable class system. The biggest difference though between Advanced Warfare and the rest of the series is the exosuit. Something as seemingly simple as being able to double jump makes a huge difference in practice. For one thing, you have to be very wary of all stages of elevation. As expected, there are many gameplay modes to choose from, but I ended up spending most of my time in Team Deathmatch. There's also a survival mode very similar to Modern Warfare 3, where up to 4 players can work together to fight off waves of enemies. In summary, Advanced Warfare feels like a true step forward for the series. However, even with the exosuit, there is a very strong sense of having done it all before. That being said, the experience is solid, and I genuinely felt as if I was playing through a blockbuster action movie all the way through. Some say Call of Duty is beginning to fade by this point, but Advanced Warfare proves the series still has some fight in it.